I'm going to be making bao buns. So first of all, I'm going to start with blooming my yeast, and blooming just means making it become frothy. So I've got 180 mils of water and 60 mils of oil in my jug here. I'm going to give it a little stir, and I'm going to add into there a tablespoon of sugar. Taking your packet, you only need one dried yeast packet, or 7.5 grams, I think, not 7 grams it is. I'm going to pop that into there. The water should be lukewarm, or just above lukewarm, to help the yeast react and to feed off the sugar. So we have 300 grams of plain flour in our bowl. To that, I'm going to add 125 grams of corn flour. That's going in. And to that, I'm going to add 2.5 tablespoons of baking powder. So yes, you need the baking powder as well as the yeast, so in that goes. And on top of that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. So that's going in as well. So I'm just going to give that a little mix in my mixer, just so it all combines. See, underneath it's starting to bloom now. So it's obviously really good yeast. So what I'm going to do is just tip it all in and then mix. And we're going to mix it on a medium speed until it all comes together. Once your dough comes together, knead it for another 10 minutes with your dough hook. So when your dough has been kneaded for 10 minutes, you'll know it's ready when you push it in and it comes back up. Roll it into a ball, and we're going to leave this in our bowl for an hour and a half to double in size. And we'll come back when that's been done. I'm going to start and do my bao buns now. So I'm collecting everything that I need ready for it. So I've got a large cutter, a large cookie cutter, which I need. Wooden spoon with the handle greased with oil. Some olive oil. And some muffin cases that I'm just going to flatten and pop to one side for now. Rolling pin at the ready. Sprinkle some flour on your board. As you can see, this has doubled in size, so we're going to knock it back and get it out. Give it a little knead first of all, just to get it going again. We're going to roll this out to about a centimetre thickness. It's a lovely soft dough this, you'll see when you make it that it is absolutely lovely and soft. Now, as it's bread dough, it takes a while for it to actually get to the right size, because it keeps coming back and then it'll go out and then it'll come back, and then, yeah, it goes on a bit. Don't let that worry you though, just keep going. Okay, so we're going to cut them out. And we're going to cut as many as we can. If we pop them onto our muffin case for now, and just continue cutting, rolling and cutting, rolling and cutting until you've used up all your dough. Your dough, once you've rolled out all of your dough, it's time to form them into bao buns. And the way we do that, roll out your bao bun, give it a little spray with oil, rub it across, then taking the end, fold it over. That should stop it sticking when we steam them. And we're going to leave these to rise for as long as it takes. To cook your bao buns, what you need to do is half fill the pan with water, and taking a steaming basket such as this one here, pop that on top and put your buns into the pan. You should be able to fit about 5 on each level, I would have said. So that's our bao buns. I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to cook them for about 10 minutes. Okay, so to go with my bao buns, I'm going to make some Asian slaw. But what I have got is a head of cabbage, which I'm not going to use it all. I'm just going to use some of it. I don't want a ton of slaw. This is just to go with the buns. So I'm going to chop this up if I can. Nice and finely. I do like raw cabbage. If you don't have any white cabbage, you can use red cabbage, that's not a problem. And I think I'll use probably about half of this pepper down. And need sharpening. And we're just going to cut this into similar strips to our cabbage, nice and thin. You can add more if you wish. To that, I'm also going to add a little bit of cucumber. Just chop the end off and then half it. We'll keep that half for something else. And we're going to take out the seeds out the middle. Take it out with a spoon and just run it right down the middle. And then we're going to slice it half moon ways. Some spring onions or scallions if you live in that part of the world. About 3. It's up to you. These are nice and clean, these ones, so I'm going to just chop them. Now then, when they get to this stage, what we need to do is take off the end and we're going to slice it down the middle. We're basically julienning a spring onion, which, yeah, it's hard work. Now you can add carrots as well if you wish. And we're going to pop that in there. We're going to mix it all together gently. Okay, pop that in the fridge. I'm going to make a hoisin dressing and an Asian dressing for my slaw. So first of all, the Asian dressing for my slaw. I'm going to grate some ginger into this bowl. This is frozen, this ginger, which just means it keeps for longer. And the great thing about fresh ginger is it gives a completely different flavour to the dried ginger. It's zesty kind of, so it's really lovely. It's good for you as well, which is always good. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of Shaoxing rice wine, about a teaspoon, don't need loads. And I'm going to use a cheat in that I'm going to use, because it's got quite a lot of flavours in it, I'm going to use sweet chilli dipping sauce for this one because it's got everything in it that I need. So I'm going to use about 4 teaspoons of that. And I'm going to use a teaspoon of sesame oil as well, because all dressings need an oil, and this gives a lovely toasted flavour to your dressing. You don't need a lot of it. I'm just going to mix that in, and then we're going to give it a taste. It's when you start to change it, so a little bit. Need some salt, so soy sauce is going in. So about a teaspoon of soy sauce. More if you wish. When it eventually gets out. So the thing with dressings is it's what you like. So taste it, decide whether it's what you like or whether it needs anything else. And if it does, add it. So let's have a taste now. That's better. But it needs a bit more vinegar. I'm going to use some red wine vinegar. About a teaspoon. There we go. If you don't have sweet chilli dipping sauce, You can use garlic and some honey, that's always good, with some chilli. Alright, let's taste this. Banging. Oh, that's lovely. That's my Asian slaw done. The next one is going to be a little sauce for my chicken to go on, really, for my to go on my chicken to give it more of an Asian feel. So I've got some hoisin here, which I'm going to use. It's always nice, isn't it, hoisin? So a bit of hoisin. Now there's 3 of us, so I'll put quite a bit in. I'm going to put some Shaoxing rice wine. So there's about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 in there at most. And I'm going to pop in a splash of rice wine, just to loosen it up a bit. And a little bit of soy. About a teaspoon of soy. And I'm going to give that a bit of a whiz to mix it in. And this is lovely, just drizzled on your chicken, pork, whatever, before you actually eat it. It's gorgeous. So just have a quick taste, make sure it's okay. Could do with a little bit of honey and then we're done. She says breaking the lid, but about a teaspoon of honey maybe. You don't need a lot, so let's see. Oh, that's banging. Yeah. And so that's my drizzly bit done. And now I've just got to shred my chicken and wait for my buns to be ready. Just before you're about to serve your slaw, pour over your dressing and leave it for a few minutes, about 10 minutes before it's due, and give it a toss. You don't need a lot of seasoning in this. What we're aiming for is fresh tastes more than anything, and crunchy vegetables. And we'll leave that to sit and marinate for a wee while.